It is so nice, and it is a little bit cold, but not so cold. So a lot of things are going to happen today, which are pretty cool. I think we may do a beautiful one time only, maybe, or I don't know, we'll see. Hover test with the, what is this thing called? I don't know. They've called it so many things, but I like to call it the Avatar Screech. The Avatar Screech from Saved by the Bell. It is the one, the only, the most amazing thing that ever came out of DJI. And the reason why it is so amazing is that if you were at the right time in history and you had one of these in your hands early on, you made a fortune on clickbait and stuff, whether you were, you know, like top dog or not. This is the thing that really brought your channel alive, to life, or whatever. Anyway, of course, I got it late. There's nothing else to say about this thing now. I did make a couple of videos while things were being done, but of course, if you don't have one in your hands, then your credibility means nothing, right? Having said that, people like Joshua Bardwell and a bunch of others that I follow didn't bother to buy one of these because they knew that there are some serious issues with this technology. But anyway, I think it's really cool. I've always wanted one. I sold my soul to the devil, but it's a partial sale, you see? It's a partial sale because I'm not keeping this thing. This is just for the purposes of testing. Then it goes back to Amazon. So whatever his name is can have it back. Anyway, so before we get into the cool things that I'm talking about today, this is not the main subject of the day. I thought I'd do a quick shout out to a couple of companies. And by the way, I don't get paid anything. I just like these companies, as I always do. I'm a glutton for punishment. I'm terrible at asking for money. But anyway, if you guys are in the area, you want to guys check out this really good place. I love their shaved ice. There's some really good stuff on here. You guys can check out the menu there. I do this all the time for all my favorite places where I go to eat or stuff like that, because I am a local Google guide here from Irvine, California, Woodbridge, and Google doesn't pay me enough. They just don't. They haven't paid me a dime yet. Anyway, same as YouTube. Would I like to be paid by YouTube? Sure. Do they want to pay me? No. But anyway, I do these things for fun. This is a really good restaurant. If you guys didn't know about it, go check it out. Go check it out. If you're here in Irvine, California, you can't miss Snow to Go or Suda Kitchen. You can't go wrong with either of these. So go and enjoy that. But today, what we're going to talk about, because sadly, I've run out of things to read off of the cool technology books that I was reading the other day. I had Tech Lab from Jack Shaloner. And also this amazing book here. You can get it off of Amazon. Secret Origin of Wing Chun. I finished reading it. I don't think I'm going to read it again, but if you guys buy enough of that book, maybe Grandmaster Tom Wong will write a sequel to it, which will be just as fun and riveting. So today what we're going to talk about, we're going to jump into this topic here, because one or more people have been talking about the concept of simp. And what is the female version of simp is pushover, right? It's the same thing, really. If you think about it, it's the same thing. If you are an alpha male or an alpha woman or an alpha non-binary, you tend to not be pushy. You tend to not apologize. You just go your course, and that's why sometimes you get blamed for toxic masculinity, right? So we're gonna go through this thing in a second. But before I do, I just want to do a quick plug, because this is happening. Although you may never think that it will, but you know, it could be like 2 or 3 or 4 years down the line. But my friend and I, Steve here, he's created his brand new, not website, YouTube channel. It's called The Dude's Digest. So he's going to be number 1 on that. I might just help him out with some voiceovers or something like that. Voiceovers, that's what I wanted to do from the beginning. I never wanted to be, my stupid face was never supposed to be on camera ever. But what are you going to do? So anyway, I I was reminding you guys that I had this really cool YouTube channel that I set up thanks with the help of Doll. YouTube canceled it. So it was Doll Marco. Sadly, it's gone. So I made a new one because I'm so shifty. I called it Makeshift Marco. It's perfect for pesky, conniving son of a guns. And it's, shifty. It's shifty. Like my eyes. They shift around. As lizard people, we gotta be shifty. So as I said before, what we're gonna talk about today in this video is, are you a simp, or did you buy into the new age way of life for the wrong man, woman, or non-binary, and now you're stuck as a simp? You're just stuck as a simp because you can't be alpha anymore. Like pretty much all of your life, all of your opportunities are way past you because, now you're like 40 and your resume looks like garbage. And so get ready to be homeless or burned or disappointed. That's the thing, right? Because a lot of us millennials who were brought up by TV more than parenting, we were taught that you have to be the support system to your alpha, right? A lot of people, especially if they spent more time growing up with their mothers or whatever, because their father was away or their father passed on or whatever it is, if you spent most of your time grown up and basically with your mom, your nannies and stuff, mostly around women, you tend to become a beta man. You're raised to be a beta man. So anyway, we were taught, be the support system to your alpha. So basically help them with their career, take care of the home, cook, clean, be good with the kids, drive people to places. If you can't actually make money, then create your own way of working within the home that helps support the family, whether it's organizational skills, whether it is plumbing, whether it is home repairs, gardening, but also you have to be the support system for your husband or wife or non-binary, whatever. When they're sick, be there with them. If they're in labor, giving birth to your kids, be by their side, hold their hand, be at the hospital, don't be sleeping around behind their back, all that stuff, right? And in simple terms, as you can see here from this poster, it is to be fit, feminine, friendly, and faithful, right? As a man, you're not going to be as feminine, obviously, because you're a man, but you're still a support system for your spouse if the spouse is more successful or has decided that they're going to be taking care of everything. So where do the biggest issues come? Well, because if you did all of this, check, right? Maybe you put in 10, 15 years of your life on hold. You're not in the workforce and all that stuff, and you've done all this for your man, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, your man or your woman or your non-binary friend, whatever, says, well now, go ahead, jump back into the workforce, go. This is when the simps go nuts, they go crazy, and they get burned. Because let's face it, guys, if you've been out of the workforce and you have a 10 to 15 year gap in your resume, that is just something horrendous. And as a woman, people kind of have that in their mindset because the system has been in place for enough time. So some companies will be like, okay, well, I see you stopped for whatever time it was to raise kids and now you want back in. That's one thing. But as a man, it's completely different. So today I have here my resume, my very latest resume. I think it ended in September of 2011. That's when I stepped off of the, when I stepped out of the workforce for good. I stopped looking for work and that was it. Let's see. So at the very end, my very last thing that I was working on was, I won't say the name of the company. explained this in other videos, so there's no point. But I'm going to read out bits and pieces of my resume, and you guys are going to tell me how stupid and ridiculous it is, and how, of course, I mean, look at me in the eye and tell me that you would hire this guy right now. 40 years old, been out of the workforce for somewhere between 10 and 15 years. What skills, right? What skills? And plus, on your resume, you have to cater whatever you've done to the job that you're going for. So a lot of the things that I've recently acquired, such as certifications, this and that and the other, are basically meaningless. Like, sure, I just got my certification in belaying in rock climbing. What good is that going to do? Or I had another certification as an adult CPR. Or I had another certification so basically that was for the Red Cross. I had an advanced open water certification for scuba diving. What good is that? You know, like all the things that I've done. I could have added to this list the Part 107, but I was like, really? What's the point at this point, right? They changed the laws, they did the things. I was thinking maybe I could do some drone footage off as a part-time thing on the side. That's meaningless. So anyway, so developed PowerPoint presentations related to engineering products and polymer, plastic recycling applications, provided workable animated 3D models, diagrams, and video tutorials for construction and operation of devices. In charge of preparing all materials required to sell and promote each specific product, including use of flow charts, graphs, and wrote instructional manuals. Then at another place, I was marketing web consultant, delivered sales growth through development of innovative internet marketing strategies and creation of effective online sales materials, redesigned and further enhanced previous website functionality and user interface, created PowerPoint presentations catered to specific client needs to boost sales. At another company, taught web design, graphic art, and game design, shared web interaction, business development, and marketing strategies with students to inspire their interest in new technology in the field. Demonstrated basic and advanced Photoshop techniques, guided students to make original content like character props, create special effects, textures for multiple platforms, instructed students on how to play team building activities and outdoor games. On another thing I did was on-site or remote language tutoring, including English, French, and Italian. Catered to class syllabus to fit each student's individual needs and learning abilities, designed interactive vocabulary, grammar exercises, taught students useful expressions, body language, and European culture. Translated a variety of technical and scientific documents, articles, website content, birth certificates, and student transcripts. For goodness sake. Led animation lab sessions for undergraduate students, assisted them by providing software support to complete class assignments, and developed their demo reels. Recommended as key demonstrator for extreme media events, and then the rest is history. So with a resume like this, do you think somebody from the government, like if I was to try to find a government job with a resume like this, would you hire me? It's a joke. It's a joke, guys. It's a joke. Especially nowadays when a bunch of people are getting laid off that are way, way, way more interesting and competent than I am, who have, maybe recently been laid off. So they've only got like maybe a couple of months of gap in their resume. Let me remind you, 2011 is the last time this conniving son of a gun, right, was in the workforce trying to find jobs. So, are you a simp, or are you just basically a caged animal? You can tell me, and you can tell me after what I just read if you are willing to hire somebody like that. Maybe you are. Drop me a comment. Let me know. I will come work for you right away. Anyway, there's also some other fun stuff that I did. Was I was involved with this cool project over here. There's like the Domisol, which is pretty cool. I can't show you for too long, so I might get in trouble. But anyway, they were making these really cool headphones with bone conductive technology. Anyway, Anyway, futuristic stuff, right? Futuristic stuff. So today we talked about a whole bunch of different things. Again, if you guys bought that really cool and amazing avatar, I like to call it the avatar screech, and you're having issues with that famous tumble. First of all, I think DJI did a lot of good work in fixing a bunch of things. I don't know for sure because I haven't tested it out, but some other nice people have commented and been nice on the channel and let me know that there are still some issues with it. It could still kind of flop out of the sky, especially if you try to put it in sports mode or whatever, or acro mode, where you can do loops and rolls and all that good stuff. I'm not doing that. We're gonna do hover tests only. Hover tests only. I'm hoping that someday soon, we're gonna have one of these things here, which is gonna be the modified or the new Gen 2 version of the DJI Avatar Screech. Hopefully it won't be screechy. Actually, the last time, somebody in Irvine, California, Woodbridge flew this and beat me to it. They got one before I did, and I saw them fly this, and theirs did not sound as screechy as I would have expected. But today we'll find out. Today will be the day that we find out whether that's true or not. But we'll see. We'll see. And then hopefully we'll see if this one's true too. This other one that I saw online, I think it was on Twitter, but then they took it down. It's basically the DJI Mini 4, which might have a fisheye lens on the top like that for VR. For VR, not VR as in put on your goggles, VR, that kind of thing, to shoot videos in VR. In 360, basically, or 180, depending on the filters or whatever they use these days. But anyway, if you did buy the Avatar, there's some awesome channels, YouTube channels. I love to put a plug on these guys who've done some really cool things. There's Eddie Nunes. Eddie Nunes is on here as well. There's Mr. Camp's Original Dobo. I love all these amazing artists and hardworking YouTubers, and they've done some really cool stuff. Ken Heron and stuff. But anyway, there are some cool things that you could buy that are 3D printed to make your Avatar Screech even better. There's prop guards. There's the famous jock strap that goes in the back here. It'll stop your battery from falling out in a crash. The ribbed riders go around the cool part over here. Unfortunately, I don't have some. I wish I had some to show you guys because they're amazing. My favorite, of course, is going to be the yellow. But there's different colors. I think there's blue and some other ones. Unfortunately, I have this in black and white because I ran out of the. Can't afford the ink for the printer anymore. But soon, hopefully, we will be able to get some ink with that. And don't forget the shirts. The shirts here from Ken Heron are amazing. The D-Factor on the trees is amazing. So please go out and get yourself one of those. Or, what is it? Droneworks, if you want to support the original Dobo. There's a new website going on up there and stuff. And Mr. Camps as well. There's, what's the other guy? Murders FPV has done some cool things with Axis motors. If you know what to do with that. Anyway, guys, so I ran out of all the other books to read. So today, with no experience at all in this field, because although I am a man of many hats, sometimes people will call me the Mad Hatter. I have absolutely no understanding of finance or anything, which is why, if you are a simp, usually, or a pushover, depending if you're a woman or a man or a non-binary, I don't know what's going on in the world today. We bought into the millennial way, the new age way, and so we did all our check marks, right? We didn't cheat on our wives, right? We took care of them when they were in need and all that stuff. And now we're at a point in our lives where we're like, okay, well maybe it's time to find someone else. But anyway, just thinking. So anyway, this here is a really cool thing. Investment management, a science to teach, or an art to learn. Take a look at this quick book over here. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It is for CFA, Institute Research Foundation. And if you want to check out their website, I'll show you the website right here. I don't know. Is that visible? Is that sometimes? I'll tell you what. The I want to say the camera on the other side of the phone has way better autofocus than the one that aims directly at you, the one that's on the screen. So anyway, investment management, a science to teach, or an art to learn. Who made this book? It's Frank J. Fabozzi, CFA, Sergio M. Focardi, and Caroline Jonas. I had a good friend Jonas Jonas. I can't remember his last name. But anyway, he's a cool artist, did some really cool things. And back in the day, we did a couple of projects together. Jonas. No, it's not the Jonas Brothers. Don't. Okay, so anyways, a really nice dude. All right, so I'm not sure if we're going to go through all of this, but you guys can read it, because, look, read it. Read it to yourself. We may be doing finance books coming ahead. I won't learn anything from it because I'm not a mathematician. I can't do any of this stuff. But you might learn something from the words that I speak into the camera. Who knows? Who knows? I've got a bunch of these books. I've got a bunch of these books available to me to read out for you guys. So anyway, let's start with the acknowledgements. So we wish to thank all those who contributed to this book, including the human resources managers at asset management firms to whom we promised anonymity. No, it's not one of those plants that lives underwater. It's not a... Don't worry, it's not Finding Nemo. Anyway, so a very special thank you goes to contributors from academia and the industry who accepted the challenge to articulate their views based on their experiences in and observations of recent financial crises, I don't know, how do you say that, on what might need to change in the education future, investment professionals, and indeed in the practice itself. Their views are cited and attributed throughout the book. See the section Opinion Contributors for a full list of those whose views contributed to this book. They really love the word contributed, and I don't particularly like it because it gets stuck. It gets stuck right here in my mouth. Contributed. It's almost as bad as anonymity. Mana. Anyway, we sincerely hope that this book will contribute to the ongoing debate about what we should teach future investment professionals and, by extension, have an impact on how practitioners manage other people's money. We are also grateful to the CFA Institute Research Foundation for funding this project, and to its Director of Research, Lawrence B. Siegel, for his encouragement, assistance, and insightful comments. Wow, there's a lot of contents in here. Let me just give you some of these. I won't give you all of these because I'll read them to you instead. Finance theory. Do we have a science to teach? Do we have a science to teach? What? I guess it says it twice. I guess people in finance love to repeat themselves a lot. Based on whoever wrote this book, I guess people in finance like to repeat themselves a lot. Poking holes in the theory. Completing the theory. Finance theory as physics envy. Finance as social science. More than simply a social science. Finance as an empirical science. We are mainstream economic, financial economic theories so resilient. As I said before, it would seem by the way this book is written that they like to repeat themselves a lot in finance. The theory and practice of investment management after the crisis, need for change, diversification, optimization, diversification, formalized capital asset pricing model, the efficient market hypotheses, risk measurement and management, crises. Do we have the tools for modeling system risk? Do we? I don't know. You tell me. Teaching finance, can we do better? Can we do better? Ask the people who are at Wall Street and all their fantastical inventions that they've done, which keeps putting us into the poop hole. Into the poop hole. I think that's still kid friendly. Do we need to change the way we teach finance theory? Are there any specifics we need to change? What's missing in the curricula? Oh, they love to put in the good old Latin words for future investment professionals, specific topics to reinforce or add. How will future professionals land a job in investment management? Is there an ideal candidate for a job in investment management? There a best school? Oh, is there a best school? Wonderful reading, guys. Getting through the screening process, most important takeaway from formal education, opinion, contributors, and references. Well, that was a handful right there. Let's jump in. Let's jump in, or in this case, the word of the day is forward. Forward. We'll just read a little bit of this, and then I'm going to be jumping into the avatar, because I want to see if this thing is as bad as they say. If I drop it in the lake, then my soul will be forever lost. The devil will own it. So let's hope that doesn't happen, because I need to return this thing. All right, let's go. Let's go forward, as they say. Let's go forward into the future of banking and finance. Are you ready to become the next CPA? Stay tuned for the next episode of Where's the Douche? Right here. Where's that douche? By the way, on a side note, if there's any women who want a hardcore man, a real man, a simp, just let me know in the comments. I might just be in need of a home. This old dog might need a home soon. Anyway, so because Frank Fabozzi, Sergio Focardi, and Caroline Jonas have in this book looked at the question of how to teach finance from the viewpoint of instructors, I will briefly consider the perspective of a student. What do I need to know? What are the timeless truths I need to understand, even there is no immediate application for them? What are the controversial propositions, and how close are we to resolving them? What is simply wrong? The basics of investment finance can be distilled down to about 8 ideas. The magical 8s. Anyway, there's a time value of money, discounted cash flow as the fair value of an asset. Bond math and duration, the no arbitrage condition, market efficiency, market efficiency, portfolio efficiency and optimization, the capital asset pricing model, the CAPM, and market model, alpha and beta, and option pricing and optionality. Anyway, we know all about alphas and betas, and we know at this point that I am somewhere between a simp and a gamma. But anyway, that's fine. Do these basics, I would add in the Modigliani and Miller indifference principles for capital structure and for I was right. I should have just trusted myself. For dividend policy, although these principles are usually taught in corporate finance rather than investment courses, they are very important for making investment decisions. That's it. I'm done. That's the finance course that I'd like to take, I think. So basically in his words, or in her words, I don't know. Did we go back to who actually wrote this book? I guess it was a work of 3. It was a work of 3. That's it. He says, I'm done. The finance course that I take, and that is what I want. So the first few ideas listed are relatively uncontroversial, but when I, as a student, get to the middle of the list, I'm tempted to howl. Wait a minute. Market efficiency. The market says the great investor Jeremy Grantham is deliciously inefficient. His vast fortune, his testimony to the fact that somebody can beat the market, Graham and Dodd and Warren Buffett and practically every hedge fund manager would agree. So should finance professors teach market efficiency as a timeless truth, a controversial proposition, or an idea that has been tested and found to be wrong. That's a question, by the way. Why is that a question? So let's do this again, because it was a question. So should finance professors teach market efficiency as a timeless truth, a controversial proposition, or an idea that has been tested and found to be wrong? Put it in the comments if you know the answer to this question. We've only read a couple of pages, actually one to be exact. I would say they should teach it as a vitally important and null hypothesis and point of departure for evaluating the claims of those who say they can beat the market. Wow, I wonder how many people are going to show up to watch this amazing video of me talking about CFA. Let's see if CFA is even more boring than technology. Hey, it's always worth to give it a shot, right? All I got to do is read one whole book, and we can go check out the stats here on the YouTube and see which book got less views. That'll be interesting. So portfolio efficiency says that investors should try to build portfolios that maximize utility, which consists of expected return minus some measure of risk. But where are investors supposed to get their return expectations from? What is risk? Is it volatility? Downside risk? Permanent loss of capital? When I go to work in an investment management firm, will I really be building portfolios that maximize returns subject to a penalty of risk, or will I be doing something else to deliver the desired results to customers? The CAPM is another problem area. The CAPM is a magnificent piece of reasoning, but the linear relationship that it posits between beta risk and expected return does not hold exactly. Active management is basically a search for assets with high returns and low risk, which the CAPM says cannot exist. The debate about CAPM is closely related to the debate about market efficiency. Should professors present the CAPM as a hypothesis, as a well-reasoned framework for thinking about the relationship between risk and return, or as truth? Fabozzi Focardi and Jonas, with whom our readers are probably already familiar from their many fine survey-based books for the CFA Institute Research Foundation, address these questions and other related issues in the current work, engagingly titled Investment Management, A Science to Teach or an Art to Learn. After interviewing finance professors, employers, and other opinion leaders in Europe, the United States, and Asia, the authors make recommendations for the teaching of finance, investment management, in particular, primarily at the MBA level. They frame their investigation in the context of the global financial crisis of 2007 and 2009, which causes many observers to question the basics they had been taught in finance courses. Because of CFA Institute's origins in security analyst societies, the authors have focused on the educational needs faced by such analysts. The decision of what to teach in investment courses, however, affects the broader population now served by CFA Institute, including assets, allocators, managerial allocators, wealth managers, and marketing and client service professionals. Participants in all these activities will find this book to be of great interest. The CFA Institute Research Foundation is especially pleased to present this investigation. A half century after the core of modern finance theory was developed, questioning the basic tenets of that body of work is sensible. Most of the ideas have stood the test of time, but some require revision in the light of experience. Students in our field deserve to know the best thinking of their teachers on these questions. Lawrence B. Siegel, Gary P. Brinson, Director of Research, CFA Institute Research Foundation, April 2014. And with that, guys, that ends our finance thing for the day. We will continue with finance theory. Do we have a science to teach? Starting tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. I'm sure nobody's going to come watch, because why would you? Why would you? You wouldn't want to know what all those people in finance know. What would be the point of that? Why would you want something like that? I don't know. I have no idea, guys. At the age of 40, as a gamma simp, I have only got questions for you. If you see me down on Route 69 with a poster saying, looking for a home, selling off my wet dog perfume, wearing my X medallion, thanks to Elon Musk, begging for spare change, you know, it's because I decided to be a beta gamma male and not learn the art of finance. That's what I should have done. I should have gone to business school. And with that, guys, I'm going to head over to do the cool things that I usually do. But before I do, I'm going to do one of those plugs. And the best thing about this plug is if you buy this book, I get nothing. So basically, you're giving it to somebody who actually deserves it and has been doing some really good work. And you get to stick it to me because somebody else is getting paid and I'm not. So this is pretty good. This is pretty good, guys. It's a one in a lifetime opportunity to do something good for someone else. And I was looking for something that I wanted to show you guys, but I've lost it because, as with many other things, I've lost my mind. I'm gone. Anyway, so check it out. It's The Secret Origin of Wing Chun. So many things. If you don't know all the specifics, just go back a couple of videos. My previous live stream, I went through all the things that you need to know about this in detail. Go check him out. It's Grandmaster Tom Wong. He's got a YouTube channel. He's got a website. And he's on Amazon. If you don't have Amazon, I mean, this is the modern world. What are you doing? See you in the next one. Take care, guys. Have a great day.